Hey guys, Mike Wallace here. Beautiful Thursday morning here in York County, South Carolina. I hope you're having a great day. Um, First of all, before we dive into the video segment today, I wanted to thank you pastors for those who had attended the prayer meeting. We had a special call prayer meeting yesterday where we prayed for three of our pastors that are struggling with different types of cancer. And we had about 20 pastors show up from different parts around the association. And we laid hands and prayed for these, laid hands on, anointed with oil, and prayed for these men, just like it says in James. And I'm just thankful for the pastor that came together to do that. Isn't that a beautiful picture of association, where we choose not to do this work alone, but we come together and love on one another and support one another, care for one another. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. All right. So we've been dealing lately in these video segments, we've been dealing with the results of our denominating process, the visioning process that we went through, right? And so the last few weeks, we've talked about the strategy wheel, right? We talked about collaboration, coaching, and celebrating. So today we're going to talk about values. But before we get into that, I want to remind you again of the new mission statement, right? The mission statement for the York Baptist Association is this: creating environments that foster relationships that lead to strengthening and multiplying churches. Creating environments to foster relationships that results in strengthening and multiplying churches. That's the new statement. All right, so let's talk about the values for a second. Now, the values, this list is not exhaustive by any means. There's a lot of things that we value, but these are four critical things that kept coming to the surface in our discussions that we said we want to make sure that these things are valued and that these things are held high in everything that we do at the York Baptist Association. So the list of these values are this: unity and diversity, leadership multiplication, relational collaboration, and next-gen engagement. And we'll talk about each one of these, but let's talk about unity and diversity for just a second, right? So that diversity word has been talked a lot about. Secular settings, church settings, it has a little bit of baggage with it. I understand that. But we didn't want to shy away from that word because it's not a bad word, right? We are diverse people. We're a diverse culture. York County is diverse. Our churches are diverse. And we want unity in the midst of that diversity. Not unity in spite of that diversity, because we celebrate that diversity. It's absolutely something to celebrate. God created this diversity. And so we want our churches to reflect our community. So it is about ethnicity and it is about race, but it's also about diversity in culture, diversity in size, diversity in structures, right? We have 78 churches and they're different. Listen, the communities around this county are different. The culture that you would find in northeastern York County, up around TK and Fort Mill, Lake Wiley, is drastically different than what you would find in the western part of the county in Sharon or Hickory Grove or some other areas, right? And so we celebrate that. So we've got this very diverse group of churches who choose voluntarily, intentionally, willfully to cooperate together for the sake of advancing the kingdom of God. The mission is what brings us together. So we are unified in the gospel. We're unified in our mission, and we celebrate that, and we guard that unity, and we won't let things break the unity among our churches, because God's called us to be his church, Big C, together, advancing his kingdom in this community. God bless you. Thank you. Have a great day.